Many people have asked me a question before. Is it possible to buy a property in Melbourne that's less than 450,000 Australian dollars? The short answer is yes. But there are very limited good property or good product at that price point, and when usually they come onto the market, they're gone very quickly. The challenge that most overseas investors face is the speed in decision making, because the longer you need to take, the more likely that you're going to lose to local buyers. My name is Jolene. I'm from ALE Property and I'm based in Melbourne. I make short videos for my clients and for overseas investors who are interested in investing in Australian real estate, particularly in Melbourne. Today, I would like to address this topic, especially for those who sincerely wants to buy a property in Melbourne, but at the same time has a rather tighter budget or a smaller budget. I will try my best to find something that's suitable for the clients, but on the other hand, I want to be very cautious because many times cheap doesn't mean good. There is no trick really. You just have to be ready when that stock comes. Usually, if you have gone through the three steps program with me, you should be. And that also means that when a good stock does come onto the market, you basically have to be quick because you are competing with the local market as well. In this video, I will share with you two sample developments, one an apartment, another one a townhouse that's in this price point or this range. And these are current projects on the market, and each has maybe like 3 to 4 units available. Now, when it comes to choosing apartments, as I have said many times, we have to be very careful. We choose the apartments, the type that are made and built for the local market and not for the overseas market. While buying townhouse sometimes sounds like a better value than buying an apartment, but I understand that sometimes overseas parents would just want to buy a home for their kids to study here that's convenient for them to go to school, because sometimes with townhouses you might have to travel a little bit. Townhouses are good for investors who look for capital growth, or owner-occupiers who actually don't mind that little bit of traveling. So I will start with covering two of these developments. Start off with the apartment and then follow with the townhouse. Here we go. First of all, I would like to introduce the site of the apartment project that I mentioned. This site is located on the corner of Elgin and Nicholson Street. If you have a look on my map here, Melbourne CBD is here, Melbourne University is located here, RMIT is somewhere around here. So the project is really close. In fact, it's walking distance to the University of Melbourne. And on either side of the project, like you have Lygon Street here with all the shops, restaurants, cafes, and on this side in Fitzroy and Collingwood, you have the same. In fact, this area here is very popular among the locals for restaurants, cafes, and some shops. So in terms of public transportation, you have trams on Nicholson Street. In fact, this is tram number 96, a really popular tram if you're familiar with Melbourne. It takes you straight into the city via Bourke Street. And for parents who are thinking of buying a place for your kids when they study in Melbourne University or in RMIT, this is actually a perfect location. Let's also take a quick look at the brochure. I've just opened it up on my computer and recording it. So CBD is here, Melbourne University is here, and Encompass is here. It's actually developed by Fraser's Group. For those of you who are familiar, Fraser's is actually from Singapore. So these are the images of all the restaurants and cafes around it. I will jump in a little bit to how it might look like. As you can see, it's really close to the city. You can even walk there. This is how the building might look like. I have previously spoken about Werribee and Wyndham Vale and even made a video about this location here. Feel free to check out my YouTube, it's still there. So I'll jump straight into the location of these townhouses called the Wyndham. So the Wyndham is located, well, in Wyndham Vale. It's located in a very established part of Wyndham Vale. As you can see here, Werribee Town Centre is here. The East Werribee Precinct is here, where the Victoria University and Victoria University has campuses here. So the site is located here, walking distance to a train station, the Wyndham Vale train station, and immediately you have Manor Lakes shopping mall here, a small shopping center, and then here you have Pacific Werribee, a much bigger shopping mall. Just to zoom in a little bit, this is not in the middle of nowhere. Like I said, it's a very established location. All the houses here are already been built, as can be seen in the video I recorded. And then Wyndham Vale train station is here, which is walking distance. A lot of other estates around here, like if you're a bit further away, you probably have to drive there. But in this case, you can actually walk there and here. So the site itself is located around here, this pocket here. So it is literally the first layer from the main road. So you go through here, Paramount Boulevard, and it's here. I have the brochure of the Wyndham open just also to give you a preview of how these townhouses will look like. And then there are some internal pictures. I'll just scroll through to give you an idea of the finishing that will be put in place in these townhouses. This development consists of 133 units in total. This is the master plan, so this is the access road, Paramount Boulevard. The only units that are available now are maybe three or four units, as I was told of last. So for people who are quick enough, they can still secure one of them. Now, having previewed a couple of projects for you before the end of the video, I'd like to add in some notes. Very often I found myself being stuck in a position where clients wants to buy a property in a certain price point, but not making decision fast enough, and I can't hold the properties usually for more than a couple of days. And then on the other hand, I do not want to sound pushy, like say, hey, you gotta make a booking now if you really want this because someone else is looking. All that is usually true, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to sound pushy. That's just not how I want myself to appear to be, as some of you might have noticed speaking to me. So in order to help you to secure a good property in this price point, I think you got to be ready before speaking to me or before wanting to look at these projects, because it is really true, especially in that 400 to 450,000 price point. Whenever there is a good property, it gets snapped up really quickly, and you're competing with the local market as well. Having said that, but for those of you who have a larger budget, there are actually more options to look at. So you know what to do. Reach out to me if you want to know more. Either WhatsApp me or email me, and then we can schedule an appointment. I hope you've enjoyed this short video. Thank you.